going to talk about the 18th century bed. Yes, sort of. Yes, yes. This is a more recent project, and really this was a similar task for me. It was having to find cloths off the shelf. It's quite often falls to me actually to do that. I'm an effective shopper. This is what you're seeing on the top left is the Lucy Neville's bedroom, a watercolor of about 1843 of Lucy Neville's, and Annabelle was involved with the carpet. Yes, but I was involved in the textiles, and there were some watercolors of these various rooms. This is the nursery in Audley End upstairs. You can see. Again, piecing together the sort of character of these rooms and what had happened to them. But we know that the boys left for Eton at aged 11 or 12 as they would, but the girls remained at home, and so the nursery in the end became their living suite as they got older, and so this then became a dedicated room for Lucy. And I was quite excited. So we used the Workwoman's Guide, which is the right date, and there's a facsimile of it here, to create. There was just one window, and then there's a bed. There's a bed here. One of the projects I proposed was that they asked the local Quilters Guild members to make a patchwork quilt for the bed. I don't think that has ever happened, I don't know. But they were, assembling a lot of fabrics that were of the right period. This is the fabric that was chosen for the curtains and for the main little bed hangings. There's a little bed that they were able to find. I was particularly pleased about this because it shows narcissus, and Lucy's birthday was in December, and narcissus is one of the flowers associated with December, and it's also associated with in the Victorian period modesty and reticence and so on. It seemed to be a perfect message for a nice young woman. It has now, I brought it on, airport reading. It has now, of course, become known as just narcissism, which is really rather disappointing, really. But that was off the shelf. All of these are off the shelf. So sometimes there's just those lucky finds, and you just have to, keep hunting and keep an open mind and look.
What happened to the walls? Did you use
the walls were wallpapered. The walls were wallpapered.
They found a piece of wallpaper in the cupboard.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was replicated.
Yeah. And there was a nursemaid still with them, just one, according to the reports in the house, Miss Dormer, the amiable, sensible governess. And there was no other evidence, but what I did was propose, this is the model, and indeed this is what happened. This is from Peter Thornton's wonderful Authentic Decor, and this is a rented room in Florence in 1824. And so it shows the bed, because it was clear, the clear bit of evidence on the wall in the room that seemed likely to be the governess's room, it's more narrow, was the big plug, if you like, where that rod would have come out to support this simple bed hanger. And so it has been reconstructed just like this. But I'd ask you to notice, I don't want to touch it, between the legs of the little table there is a shawl over the bed. And I've put one up here so that you can actually see. Yes. And this would have been an essential component for the governess because, of course, a little bit of warmth, but this would have been her Sunday best, and quite probably a printed paisley style shawl rather than the more expensive woven ones, and precious, and so always, within her sight, and always, of course, laid flat so that it was kept in good keeping. So that was a treatment for the nursery. And then we finished in 2012, and this is the nursery proper, where you can see the assemblage of, my job was to pull all these different fabrics together for different reasons. There had to be a bit of cacophony because that was the style at the time. These curtains have a chintz pattern, a rose pattern that is larger than the one in Lucy's bedroom, because that also is the fashion of the time, consciously choosing smaller patterns for bedrooms and so on. But notice this chair, the prie-dieu. I did argue as firmly as I could that there needed to be things that were embroidered in these rooms, because the girls, of course, were embroiderers. It was part of their education. It was part of what the governess taught them, and there needed to be a sense of that being part of their life. And I put a detail of, I did also find some table covers and various other things, some of which went in the nursery and some in fact went into the downstairs of the building, to add that authentic sense of the richness of the surfaces of these kinds of